All right, it's another beautiful afternoon. Welcome to your afternoon, and of course, your favorite afternoon show, In Touch. And of course, today being a Thursday, would always want to make it more special because we're getting into a weekend. That's the reason why we always want to keep it entertaining, as at the same time informative, and of course, educative as well. I'm your host Nelson, and of course, I'm gonna be taking you through from now up until summer 16. My first guest today is coming through from the UK. He is a Zambian born, but I feel he shares the heritage of two countries because, as much as his family is obviously Zambian, but he was born in Namibia. So, obviously, there's something in him that can be traced back to Namibia, and of course, something that can be traced back to Zambia. But he is based in the UK, and he is fully active and participating fully in terms of music. His genre of music is pretty much hip hop, but he also goes R&B sometimes, and also he would love to learn as much as he can. Grover is in the studio with me, and he is visiting Zambia for the third time, but as an adult, definitely for the first time. Good to see you, and welcome to the country.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's a lovely day today, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, great. The last time that you were here, you talked about 9 years ago.
Yeah,
Any
9 years
changes
ago.
that you've noticed?
Changes I've noticed. It's just amazing. I've seen a lot of buildings arise, a lot of different malls. It's became really commercialized. I've seen a lot of different shopping centers and things like that. So it's a great chance for me to get some shopping in as well.
Okay, great. Comparing your two experiences, the last time that you were here and this time, which experience really adds up so much value to you being a Zambian, really?
I think really just meeting the people here. I think that's an important experience. I'm trying to. Last time I was here when I was younger, I didn't have that chance to really get to interact with people because I was an independent individual. I'm now a young man, so out here trying to interact with people, see what they like, entertainment-wise, music-wise, fashion-wise. So, and I've seen a lot of fashion, a great taste in fashion here.
Mm-hmm.
People are really stunning on other people outside of the UK. So,
Amazing, amazing. For how long are you in the country?
I'm going to be here for a month, a good month. So that's from now up until August 4th. I'm going to be around here, meeting the locals, making the most of my little holiday here.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. During the 1 month that you're going to be in the country,
Yeah.
how do you wish to spend it?
I wish to, well, I've got a lot of family here, so obviously I haven't seen a lot of people in 9 years, so of course I'm going to see family, but at the same time, I'm taking it as an opportunity to branch out, meet other creative-minded people, like-minded people like myself, people at the forefront of Zambian entertainment music. So I'm taking the opportunity to meet artists, try and make music. That's what I want to do. I want to make music. So I think that'll be great to get that cross and blend, that UK blend and that Zambian feel.
I'm sure you're gonna have a great experience, especially if you meet our top artists, for example, J Rock, Samaki too, Slapty, and not forgetting a female artist as well, Salma. I think they've been quite influential in as far as taking Zambian music across Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, so far I think we've seen great collaborations. We've seen Kaki, Kaki, Salma do something great together.
Yeah.
We've seen Makito as well do something great with people from Kenya and all that. Now, you as an artist, obviously somebody would want to find out exactly why are you in music?
Why am I in music? I'm in music to take the lead, I'd like to say. Take the lead. I'm in music to establish myself as an individual that is got a great appreciation for the creative art, the aspect and the raw feeling that music gives you. That's why I'm in music. I've always had a great appreciation of how music can move you, make you feel happy or sad. The way an artist can put into words how exactly you feel inside, but never had the way to verbalize it. I feel that's the important thing about musicians. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. So music, that's what I'm here for, to make people feel good.
Obviously, people would always want to feel good.
Yeah.
Because they would want to dance, they would want to sing along, they would want...
I want to make people move.
Exactly, they would want to move. That's the reason why they appreciate music. Now, when you were growing up, did you at some point think you could pursue music at a professional level as you're doing right now?
I had no idea, I'll be honest. When I music's always been a part of my life, so I've always had an understanding and appreciation of how it can make you feel. But growing up, my main thing was football. I was playing football.
Wow.
Yeah, I was running up and down the field, so I was always in great shape. Trying to play academy football. I was a winger actually, so football's in my family. You know, I've got a great passion for sports. So but then one day I just decided to get into the studio, write some more music. Always found myself writing songs. So I guess it's always been there. I just didn't realize it until recently that it's something I can pursue and people appreciate greatly.
Obviously, when I talked about you pursuing music at a professional level,
Yeah,
most of the people really didn't get what I meant, maybe. So when we talk about professional level,
yeah.
what are you currently doing?
What am I currently doing? Well, what I'm currently doing with music is to get to a professional standard, I'm meeting these people at the forefront, the leaders, if either it's in production, songwriting, and engineering. And for me to get a professional standard, I took it upon myself to not just settle for writing and singing, recording music, but also understand the technical sides behind it. So I decided to go to university and study music production, try to become a sound engineer, and so far it's helped me excel my music to like great heights.
Indeed, indeed, great. And how far would you love to go in terms of your career as an artist?
How far? Like, I want to establish a legacy. I look at the great artists who have inspired me. For example, Kanye West is a big artist that's influenced me, and I see the way certain artists and musicians have established themselves as a sort of brand, if I could put it that way. And that's what I want to do. I want to become a brand. I want Graver to become a household name. You know, you think about music, you think about fashion, art, expression, videos. I want to be at the forefront of all that.
Okay, interesting. So for now, when did you start recording at a professional level?
At professional level, I'd have to say last year, beginning of 2016, I bought my own recording equipment. I was like, okay, I need to make a serious decision here. Do I want to just play games as most young adults did, play console games, or would I like to start branching out and take my passion seriously? So I took it upon myself to sell my games console, which was a PS4. I sold that, and ended up investing in musical equipment, recording in my room, and then from there I was releasing music nearly every day. Got the right attention. I got into the studio and started working with some great musicians and great producers.
Okay, and so for how has been your experience in terms of recording with great artists, great producers, and of course in great studios as well?
I think my experience with it has been amazing. I have to put it just like that because there's something special about when you have two like-minded creatives in the same room making having that own little stamp on some music is special because it's a combination of two visions and then becomes one, and that's what I've really enjoyed mostly about it. I've worked with many artists from different genres, different backgrounds. I've worked with singers and rappers, and it's so far it's been great, and it's given me a lot of exposure working with other musicians.
All right. I would want to draw your attention to what's currently happening in Africa. I think
Yeah.
we've seen quite a lot of development in as far as African music is concerned.
Yeah.
20 years ago, well, you can barely dance to the African drums, but currently, well, it's shaking almost the whole entire world. I think we're seeing a lot of collaborations. The video collaborating with R. Kelly. We have Wizkid as well collaborating with top American guys as well, who we never thought they could
Yeah.
do that. How would you rate the development of African music at the pace at which it's moving right now?
African music at the moment is on the same level as Western music all over the globe because there's something about African music, African people in general, there's an energy that we are able to capture, which other artists elsewhere don't have naturally within them. That's what I like to think. And it's captured the ears of a lot of people, especially where I'm from in the UK. You hear African music play and people instantly move, no matter where they're from, what religion, what race, and it's got people. It's just a crazy wave that's taken over, and it's nice to see that happening. It makes me feel proud to see people in my college or my university just dancing to the video, you know. So yeah, it's great.
If there's one African artist that you'd love to collaborate with, you'd love to work with, who is that one? Who's that one gonna be?
Well, let me start in Zambia because in Zambia I've been listening to a lot of other hip hop artists who rap, and I think that if I see myself in a top tier position, so I want to work with top tier artists. So I listened to a lot of J-Rox recently. I'm loving his music, and I think he is a lyricist. Heard one of his recent videos, saw that. I think it was called Glory, and I loved it. It made me move. Other African artists, I love Nasty C from South Africa. He's a young artist, and he just the guy when he spits his lyrics, his bars, it hits you hard, and I love that. Something that makes you instantly going. So there's a lot of artists and also singers as well. I recently collaborated with a Zambian artist, Trace City, and we've got something coming, and hopefully people get to listen to that very soon, and they're gonna love it and feel that vibe.
Alright, obviously Zambians are looking forward to getting something, at least a bit from you.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that beat is coming when you're still in the country or possibly it'll be coming when you've left the country.
Yeah, it'll be very soon, I believe, very soon. While I'm still present, we'll be getting some airplay, so I'll be looking forward to seeing directly, from the Zambian people what they feel about my music, So this is a great opportunity for me to be down here, interact with artists. So yeah, this is a special moment right here. I'm trying to build history.
All right, so now let's talk about the future of African music, the future of Zambian music in the next 2 years. What do you think Zambian music will be?
In the next 2 years, I think it will be at the forefront. I'm hearing a lot of quality sounds, music. I think you can really hear the attention to detail the artists are paying attention. They're paying a great attention to detail to their work, and it's evident because people are responding very well. I think in 2 years' time, we're going to see our Zambian artists at these great international award shows, picking up awards, and hopefully I'll be amongst them as well. So,
all right, I love the way you're thinking, because now obviously you're thinking about award big award ceremonies like
level,
BAFTA awards.
That's
You're
the
thinking of MTV Best Award.
Yeah.
But let's talk about BAFTA. It's an award that is usually awarded to different artists across the world, but we also have a lot of African artists who perform. Raf Kid has had a share of it.
Yeah.
J-Rox has had a share of it, and quite a number of other artists as well. If you were to be given an opportunity to be part, in which group would you love to be? If you were to be given an opportunity to choose your competitors, would you love to be in the same group with AKA Nasty C, and of course J-Rox as well?
Definitely. That's the dream. And the dream is to get to that level of influence of artists such as Kanye West. They have their influences really impacted generations of musicians, and they're still at the forefront of the industry 20 years later from when they first started. And that's the important thing, thinking that 20 years ahead, how was my music gonna impact the next generation of artists? And I think with these artists such as AKA and Nasty C, they don't realize it, but they're doing that right now, and they're heading in the right direction. So that's why I truly believe that that's going to be the same for Zambian artists as well.
Alright, and in case you're just joining us, this is In Touch Thursday's edition, and of course I'm talking to a Grover who is a Zambian based in the UK. He is into music. Currently he's also in school studying music production and everything related to that, but he is also an artist as well. So he is in the country for the third time. The last time that he was in Zambia, that was about 9 years ago, and this is the first time that he's coming into Zambia as an adult as well. Now, obviously, my director is telling me as we are drawing close to the end of an interview, as we'll be wrapping it up. My director would love you to showcase your skill in front of the camera and in front of the Zambian people as well. Possibly, let me give you that platform as well, just right now.
Okay. All right,
possibly you can just give us maybe a chorus or maybe a rhyme from one of the songs that you have done or that you are yet to do.
Let me let me see what bars I got in my head. Yeah. Rise on my empire, stacking the pillars, reflecting on myself in a room full of mirrors. Yeah, paving the way, make room for the clearance, making an appearance in the scene. Before I woke up, it was all just a dream, but living life on the solo. But now here's the team. Of all, it was me that was chosen with that flow that's so potent. Schooling these MCs, ain't no need for enrollment. Education is the key. My mind, I've just opened. There's no going where I'm going. I'm clear and I'm focused. It's me, Graver, that dark night poet. Open your chest, your heart. I just stolen. I'm here to wreck these mics and invest these checks. Looking around like who's next? It's me, who the hell did you expect? Yeah. I set the track ablaze, it's me rocking it live, I'm on stage. We'll never be on the same page, I'm on that next level. Push forward the fast lane, I'm on that gas pedal. Race against time, finish first, get a gold medal. Won't stop till I reach the top and still I won't settle. Graver.
That was pretty much amazing. That
Thank
was
you.
great. That was great. What's the title track of this?
That was
Is it already done, or maybe it's
track.
still in the studio?
I've got some new tracks as well. I've got a new track called How I Like It. That'll be out on the 21st of July. It'll be on Apple Music, Spotify, featuring an artist called LTGK. He's from my home city, Portsmouth. You know, that's in the UK. We like to refer to it to the wavy coast, as we have that vibe, that wavy vibe that gets you in that mood. You know, you just rock to the beat just like you would on a ship. You know, when the ship is sailing. That's the sort of wave we bring. So yeah, that will be How I Like It, coming out July 21st. Graver.
Okay, so that will be the first song that you definitely throw on the market.
Yes,
For all the people to get.
it'll be official release.
Oh, okay, great. And obviously, people like me would love to see at least one or two videos from you.
Oh yeah.
Do you expect anything from you anytime soon?
There's a lot of new videos coming. Hopefully, I'll get the opportunity to record something here. But I've got some videos already out. I've had a recent release. It's called Stick and Move. I released that last week. You can find it on YouTube. It's Graver Music. All social media as well. Graver Music. SoundCloud, Graver Music. Instagram. You can just find all my work there. I've got about 3 videos out, and they're gaining a lot of traction, and I'm getting a good response from the people. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to branch out here in Zambia, the same way I have in the UK, in my home city.
Okay, great. You know, Zambia has got quite a lot of nice places
Yeah.
that I could definitely make recommendations
Oh,
in terms of
please.
video shooting and all that. So I hope that you're going to take at least some time to tour the country so that
Oh,
you can
yeah.
identify some sports where you can you can do a video. I would really love you to do possibly 1 or 2 videos here in Zambia. I'm sure even Mom would be proud of it.
Yeah, I know. Should really love that for me. That's the plan. That's the goal. I plan on really capturing the essence of what it means to be Zambian, and this is a very important stage in my life. This is why I've returned now as a young adult. So hopefully I'm gonna get those quality music videos, that lovely music, and grace people with some great visuals. Express my art, and allow people in my city as well to see what we have here and the great talents we have here. And that's why I'm out here working with these musicians and taking an opportunity to do these videos.
On an international level, outside Africa, any other artists that you have in mind that you'd love to collaborate with? Maybe do one or two
Outside of
songs.
Africa?
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty. The list is endless. I like Kojo Funds. He's based in the UK. I also like Slap D. I was actually listening to him on the car on the way here. I'm just. There's so much music right now which has caught my ear. Plenty of R&B artists as well, and producers mainly. People who have a different, unique sound. If you have your own unique stamp in your music, I'm gonna be attracted to that and want to work with you.
Okay, well, talking about R&B, I think I would also encourage you to listen to some of the Beto as well. I think he's got very, very good tunes as well. He's the king of R&B when we talk about Zambian R&B. I think he's been winning awards in the R&B category, He's done he's collaborated with people like Padawan King.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think he's pretty good as well. You should listen to some of the stuff that he does. And he's one versatile artist where he can rap, he can sing,
Yeah.
he can do R&B, he can do slow, he can do love song,
Yeah.
he can do pretty much everything.
Yeah, I like to think the same with me as well. So if that collaboration was to happen, it's gonna be a hit. I'm a very versatile artist myself. I can make stuff that make you think, make you feel, make you dance, make you shake, make you smile. I've got so many things that I can do on a microphone that will definitely capture your ear. So yeah, I'm ready for any artist, any musician, and any MC as well. I'm ready to go bar for bar. You know.
Oh, that's pretty much good. So in the next 2 years,
Yeah.
what would you want to see yourself?
Winning awards. Being an established brand. I wanna be able to look back in 2 years' time and say, okay, this is where the legacy started. These defining moments, and in 2 years' time, I think I'd love to have my own label. And have my own branch, a network of artists. Who I can put on a platform. Right now, back home in Portsmouth, I'm working for a lot of producers and a lot of other artists, and when there's a strong movement going on, and I want to make that movement global. So that's the plan, to make a global movement, Graver Music, make it globalized.
Okay, and obviously you have a desire to have an international show where you are the main artist performing, and
Definitely.
just something that is just coming into my mind is, in which country do you love to have your first show where you are the main artist?
It's got to be here. It's got to be here. It can't be any other place really. It has to be back home, because that'll be a pivotal moment in my life. If it's my first major show, it has to be here, because I want to make that impact, and I think it'll be great to give that that opportunity for people to look and say, oh, this is where it started. This is where his legacy started. So it's got to be here.
Wow, amazing. Well, Grover, thank you so much for coming through.
No problem.
Yeah,
It's been a pleasure.
I love the snippet that you gave us. How I wish I could listen to the whole entire song, have it played, and have it and obviously give people an opportunity to listen to it. I'm sure it's something that they would love. Just the way you were flowing, the way you were coming up with your statements from A up to Z, coming up like that. I think it was amazing. It was amazing. And finally, before I even let go of you, if you're what would be the title of your album?
Title of my album, I've got
Time of My Life.
I've got a project which I'm working on, and it's called Dying for the Lifestyle.
Dying for the lifestyle.
Dying for the lifestyle, because I think with music it's a lifestyle, and this is something I live for, so I'm willing to die for it. I'll die for my craft. So Dying for the Lifestyle will be the project.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being part of the show today, and of course, wishing you all the best. And I hope that your 1 month stay in the country, you will be able to identify those spots to talk about, where you can do the video and have something done locally. I think that would be amazing.
That'd be great.
Thank you so much, and hopefully to see you before you leave the country.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Alright, so that was my first guest. He is based in the UK, he's an artist, and on top of that, he's also fully involved in the study of music. So obviously, before he leaves this country on the 4th, getting back to the UK, obviously you should be able to hear something from him and get to see the talent within him as well. So we've got quite a lot happening, not only locally but also internationally, because we have Zambians who are in the diaspora, who are also trying by all means to lift the flag of the country and putting the name of the country somewhere there. So if we all work together, definitely we'll be talking about a different story, and we'll be writing a different story in our books as well. So Grover is one of the people who definitely do that. Katonga is one of the people who are doing that. And on top of that, we also have Crisis as well. I think he's been doing that for quite a long time. JK, name them. They are all doing it, not only in music, but also in other sectors as well. Fashion, name it. They have actually been representing the country, and we need to continue appreciating them as well. We'll go for a break. When we come back, I'll be talking to a certain lady as well who is a model, but on top of that, she does quite a number of other items. She's got a beautiful story to talk to us about, and she's going to be sharing that story with us. So, but for now, we'll go for a break. We'll be back on the other side.
QTV brings to you a show taking you on an exciting roller coaster as you meet remarkable people from all walks of life, sharing their extraordinary life stories, arts, entertainment, lifestyle. Join Marvelous, Sipokazi, Lucia, and Kirsty on the new and exciting magazine show, 54.
Turn it up.
Look it down low.
Turn it up. The Hype.
It could have been a one night stand. Go teach a broadcast colony.
If you haven't heard of Zilile, catch the very best of local music videos live every Saturday at 17 hours. Only on QTV.
Chikonkote and his wife Tandiwe come back from South Africa to settle back in Zambia. They take both a year off work and live on their savings as they relax and focus their attention on having a baby. They settle in a closed and exclusive neighborhood. Unknown to them, their privacy is about to be evaded by unsolicited dependents from the extended family, all looking up to their inexperienced pair for guidance and sustenance. Dependents on QTV, Fridays at 20 hours.
So, welcome back. My next guest is a model, a student, and she does quite a number of other issues as well. Her name is Hannah Monkombwe. I hope I got your name correct. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. You actually missed out my name, my first name. Masowe.
Do you know the reason why I didn't want to try it?
Why?
I was thinking of something else.
Okay.
I was thinking of something else. Otherwise, I was going to call you Musole.
Alright.
Trust me. So I only had to remember the name that I saw on Facebook. I thought, okay, how about calling her Hannah? Or maybe you don't appreciate English names?
No, I actually appreciate that. Most people find it difficult to pronounce my other name.
Mm-hmm.
They find it easy with Hannah, so I'm okay with it.
Okay. Who gave you the Hannah name?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother.
I needed an English name. Yeah.
Okay. Then she, of all the names, she just decided to pick up a Hannah,
Yes.
a biblical name. Okay, it's always great, to get a Bible name and name it a beautiful daughter. Like, yeah, exactly. Now, let's get to what you do. You are a model by profession. For how long have you been doing modeling?
Okay, I started modeling when I was like 12, but professionally I started like in 2014.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. And when you were at 12, what motivated you to be modeling? Because at that level, you knew very little about modeling.
Okay. Like in the beginning, I didn't even really understand what it was. Like the first time I tried it, it was like a bunch of us, like just saying we need to try this out. Because there was a pageant like in my neighborhood. So my friends and I were like, oh, it would be fun. Like let's try it. I didn't like fully understand what it was about, but I gave it a shot. So the first instance, I loved it. I loved being on stage and whatnot. I actually made it.
Do you still love being on stage?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever felt nervous on stage?
It is normal actually. You feel nervous, but then you know how to control it.
How long does it take for you to, control your nervousness on the stage?
Okay. And on stage, it depends anyway. With a crowd, like if the crowd is loving.
If the crowd is
Yeah.
too big,
It's too big.
It takes longer.
Yeah. Like if they're cheering for you, like it's fun actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what motivated you to take modeling as a professional career?
Okay. Like modeling is something I've really like thought about and something I really enjoy. And I'm still in it because I actually want to use the same platform to actually empower other people, girls most especially. And I just want to like create awareness on certain causes like HIV. I actually want to use this platform. That's how come I'm still like hanging on. Yes.
Okay, so if we never had all these causes, like for example the HIV cause, you wouldn't really be actively involved in modeling?
Not really. There are actually many things that affect the world besides HIV. There are so many things that are there. I mean, if there was no HIV, there would be other things that would have to deal with. So at the end of the day, it's also just impacting the world positively.
Okay. And do you think it's working for you?
I'm trying. I'm getting there slowly. Yeah.
Okay. So for how long do you think it will take for you to get there?
Maybe this year. This year I have to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So now, talking about your professional career, aside from what you achieved as a 12-year-old, your professional career, when did it start?
2014.
2014.
2014.
Okay. What was the landmark of your career? How did you engage into this professional career? Was it through a pageant, a fashion show, or something like that?
Okay, the first one was like a pageant when I engaged in it professionally. It was a pageant. I've actually done a couple of shows. Yeah, I don't know many.
Talk about the first pageant. How was it for you?
It was wild. Yeah, I didn't actually like how I performed, but it was good. I mean, you actually learn from your losses. So
Okay, anything that you never liked about that pageant?
well, the pageant. Actually, that was 2013, not 2014. That was Miss Evelyn Horn. Yes. So something tragedy happened that day. Like one of our students drowned. I don't know if you heard the news.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually the same pageant. So we didn't actually finish it. Yeah, there was just confusion and whatnot.
Oh, okay, great. Now, after from there, you decided to go on and of course possibly take part in the second pageant. What was the second pageant?
The second pageant was that was Miss Unity Zambia. Yes.
Okay, did you win?
No.
Okay. Anything that you noticed that contributed to your loss, to your losing that pageant?
Okay. The thing with pageants, the judges specifically, they have what they are looking for. You see, so
And you never knew exactly what they were looking for.
no, you actually have an idea. You know what judges are looking for, but at the end of the day, it's dependent on them and their choice. So if
You are not one of their choice.
not really, but I don't know.
Judges never liked you.
I have no idea. But yeah, I had people who liked me from the crowd, because I was actually called later on by people from Daily Mail. And yeah, they actually liked me, and I was in the paper next week.
Mm-hmm.
The following week. Yeah. So
Okay, so
sorry.
why did you lose that pageant?
What did I?
Why did you lose? Is it because the winner and others who received their prizes were pretty good than you, or maybe it was an issue of favoritism?
Well, I don't think so. I don't like thinking that way. I don't like thinking it's favoritism, or because maybe I'm not good and whatnot, because it actually just draws you back.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I just decide to learn what didn't I do.
Okay,
You
so
see.
what didn't you do?
Okay, maybe there. Okay, that's a pageant that I really thought I really put in my best.
Okay.
So it was so unfortunate that I wasn't one of the people picked.
So it was favoritism.
You
You picked you really put in the best, and yet you lost. Was that fairly done, or maybe you think you were unfairly treated?
okay? I feel I was unfairly treated.
Unfairly treated.
Yes.
Okay. From there, what was it, the next pageant that you took part in?
The next pageant, third one is Miss Hope Zambia.
Okay.
Actually, recently took part in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm first runner-up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now getting back to the second pageant you took part in, the one which you feel you were unfairly treated. Any lessons that you learned?
From my losses.
Mm-hmm.
What I learned is actually just believing more in myself. Then, in as much as I tried, I didn't like have the all the confidence like in the world, like to like keep me going.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something that I've actually learned. Then the other thing besides that is just like you have to make sure you reach the standard, like what the pageant is about, like who are they looking for. So like you just like work towards that.
Okay, so now
Yes.
when you talk about getting to the standard, looking getting to know exactly the standards, the criteria, and of course who are they specifically looking for. Now that brings to the brings me to the issue of getting to know exactly what judges look for in a model. According to your experience and according to what you've heard, what do judges really look for when they are giving points?
Okay, mainly like the important thing that they look for is actually confidence. They need someone who knows like why they are there, why you are taking part in that pageant. Like, would you be a good ambassador? Would you represent them like well and whatnot? So mainly they're looking for someone who's like confident and whatnot. I think that's it. That's the
Okay,
most
now,
important thing actually.
And now, Hannah, obviously, a good number of contestants, they usually have that confidence that's needed, but still, they don't make it through, not even in the top 5. Others, not even in the top 10. Where do you think they go wrong?
Okay. In such cases, like to be a model is actually hard. You need to have like what word can I say? You need to like keep on pushing if it's something you really love, you see, because there are times that you feel like I've tried, this is the best I can do, but yet the results are something else.
So winning is what entails that you've put in the best.
Sometimes it's not even about the crown. Like, yeah, girls come together to actually fight for one crown, you see, but sometimes it's actually beyond that. Sometimes just like just it's exposure and whatnot. It also helps you. It helps with your confidence, like you being out there, meeting new people and whatnot. Like it really helps you.
So how would you know that, well, in this pageant, I've really put in my best, even if I haven't won, but I've really put in my best?
Okay. Firstly, like if you have to engage like in a pageant, you need to research on it. Like, what's the pageant about? Like, what are they looking for? Usually pageants have like a theme, and maybe sometimes you find that maybe it's things to do with fighting cancer. You see, for example, let me give an example of the same Miss Unity in Zambia. That was the time, I think it was election time, so it was like fair and free elections. This was like us, it was basically about unity for the country. So you have to like research, like what's the pageant about? Like that way you feel, like I'm good to go. That's the most important thing. You can't go to a pageant like unprepared without like having zero knowledge about the pageant. Yes, so mainly that's it. And your walk, you check your wardrobe and whatnot. Everything has to be on point. Just
All
stand
right.
out.
Okay, I love the idea of the wardrobe and you have to check your looks and all that. I think they also add up more value.
Yes.
And now, but from your experience, have you ever felt some judges never just liked you?
That's a tricky question. It's actually hard to tell, like when a judge likes you, because mostly those guys like don't even smile. You see, they're just looking at you, and it's hard to actually tell, like, do they like me? Don't they like me? Like they never clap for you. They never like, you know what I mean? Like it's just serious business. So it's actually hard to. Maybe you only know like later on when the results are announced, and you're like, oh, okay, so meaning they didn't really like me. You see, so.
I've heard quite a lot of rumors, where some judges have been having, background, meetings with models, promising them of this and that and stuff like that. Have you been a victim of such exploitation?
No, I have never been, to be honest. I have never been.
Okay, what would you do if one of the judges was to approach you and possibly promise you of something in return?
Like, that would be against what I believe in. So if if a judge would like was to like approach me and tell me, do this and whatnot, already like that's.
And you really want to win. You really want to win. And he's even promised you to say, well, I'm the final say. The other judges will definitely vote, but my vote is what will count.
I think in such an instance, what I would do is just pull out of the pageant. If he has the final say and he wants me to give in to him, and he has the final say, like, why should I go ahead, like, with it?
Let's talk about, the arrangements of pageants that are currently running on the Zambian market. We've got quite a number of them.
Okay.
Exactly. How do you look at the organization of different pageants that take place year in, year out?
Okay. For pageants, like, we really need, I wouldn't say it's there yet, but we are getting there slowly.
Okay.
You see, we're getting.
Where are we lacking?
Sorry.
Where are we lacking?
Just people to sponsor, people to come in, and whatnot. Like for the government needs to also acknowledge models. You see.
How should they acknowledge you?
Like, aren't we important people? Don't we matter in this country? We matter too, right?
Maybe you're not just doing enough to show the government that you do matter. Maybe you don't do enough to show me that you do matter. Because by the end of the day, what I've seen is the moment, Hannah would make all those, promises on the stage, when I win, I'm going to work with this and that and that and that.
Okay.
And the moment she's crowned, well, that is just the end of it. You don't fulfill your responsibilities, you guys, when you win.
I don't think so. People do fulfill their promises. At least they try. Yeah, they try.
And why do you always think of, working on a particular project once you're crowned?
Why there's need to work on a...
Most of the models that I've interacted with, they'll tell you, when I win, I'll start working with the vulnerable children. When I win, I'll start empowering, this. Why don't you do those projects? Even prior to, you winning, you as a model, you just take it upon yourself because you know for sure
like
that
you don't have.
you're a
You
brand.
mean like you don't have to like wait for the crown? Okay, I think that's something we do, but it's not out there. Like you can't see it because maybe like when I don't have a crown, it's hard for you to see I'm doing this thing. You see?
So how does government really recognize you guys if at all they can't see your actual work?
A crown comes in handy, and it's easy to see when you're working.
By the end of by the end of the day, you're not going to be working with the crown in town. You're shopping. We're shopping. You are
yes,
with
but
your
that's
crown.
shopping.
You're going wherever you're going with your crown. You're doing a cleaning stuff in your compound. You're with your crown or something. A crown is something that you just wear possibly once.
But that's when you're sort of like noticed. Because there are times that you're not like taken seriously, like I just put aside. But when you have like a crown and whatnot, like it sort of carries more, and it's easy to notice. Like, oh, Miss something is cleaning, is helping, is with the kids and whatnot. No wonder you find that, like maybe like these crown people, crown owners, people, and whatnot. Usually when they're dealing with vulnerables, they go to hospitals. Usually they have like their sashes and their crowns with them, you see. So it's actually easy to notice them.
Let me take you to a very crucial issue here. There is Miss Zambia going on, and on top of that, we have a previous Miss Zambia who was just stripped of the title. I'm sure the story, you know it. Louisa?
I know a little bit.
Exactly. What would be your comment as a model? Was that fairly done?
Well, like that was really sad, like very sad. I wouldn't even imagine myself like in such a situation. I wouldn't like blame either of them because I don't really know like the basis for their actions. You see, yeah, but it's actually tricky. There's something that they do. Like we don't really know like what conspired between her and the team, so like it's actually hard to even like comment on it.
Okay, by the end of the day, how was the team supposed to handle that situation? just strip off the title from Louisa?
Okay, but with pageants, usually the organizers have like a standard. You see, they have sort of put they have standard where, you know, like you have to reach their standard. Sometimes you find that if you don't reach up to that standard, they dethrone you and whatnot. So with them, I'm not saying she didn't reach to their standard. For them to actually, for her to be the winner, meaning she actually got it, you see. So like my suggestion maybe is maybe they should have dealt with it first, like privately, tried to, you know, like without everybody noticing. They should have like just dealt it like privately, and then like later on make a decision. Though it's Miss Zambia, like you need to be updated as a country. So.
And is Miss Zambia really? Maybe I should also ask you that.
Okay.
Is Miss Zambia really the Miss Zambia that we used to know? Does it even carry the same essence as it used to some time back?
It does.
Would you accept taking part in Miss Zambia?
Yes, I would.
And what would be your essence? What could be your objective of taking part in Miss Zambia?
Representing my country to other countries, show them what Zambia is about.
And imagine that, you know, the team, and they give you that opportunity to take part in Miss Zambia, and the judges, they definitely see so much quality in you, and they give you the throne. You are crowned as Miss Zambia today. What would you do with the crown?
What I would do with the crown? Because the crown gives you so many opportunities. It opens so many doors. Yes, so I think what I would actually do with it is just make sure I actually engage myself in activities. Like you said, we also vulnerable. Of course, you know, like just impact the nation positively.
What would be the first project that you'd love to work on?
Okay, like for me, something that I'm like most passionate about is illiteracy. So that's something I would engage in, like just help kids and adults who like have trouble reading. So I think that's something I would really engage in, like just make sure I help people know how to read, and so they can equally understand the environment they live in.
Okay, I hope that project is in the pipeline.
It is.
I hope you are trying by all means to work on that project even before the crown comes.
It is. I'm actually a reading coach at the moment. I'm helping kids.
Okay, tell us more about, you know, the other role that you are also playing as the reading coach, trying to help kids get to know how to read. Why did you take up that role?
Okay. Like I said, illiteracy is something that really bothers me, you see. And there's a saying that if you want to hide
Money.
not money, knowledge, whatever, something, maybe even money, yeah.
If you want to hide rich
What's the saying
definitely
again?
put it in the book.
In written in a book, you see that many won't access it. You see, so sometimes there are people who just don't have a privilege to actually just read, but they want to know how to read. So I think
that statement is true.
it is actually very
In
true.
Zambia, it's true. Look at just
It
how
is
we
very true.
interpreted the president's national address yesterday at 20. If you are on social media, you agree with me that very few people got what he said correct.
Yeah, state of emergency.
They don't even know what is actually written under the SIs that the president definitely made reference to.
Yes.
So now, if at all we cannot even understand simple things like that, then how are we going to understand the time that is going to invoke, you know, SI 30 and 108?
It's wild.
Okay, so now you
Yeah.
see that models have got a huge responsibility in terms of, you know, trying to help people get to where they're supposed to be. For example, the issue of illiteracy you talked about. Exactly. If you grow up in Lusaka like today, you might not think Zambia has got people who literally don't know how to read and write. But we have not only kids, but adults as
Adults
well,
too.
who do not even know how to read and write.
Yeah.
What do we do with them really? How do we get them to a place where they can at least know how to hold a pencil, hold a pen, put it on the paper, and just write A, B, C, D?
Okay, how we can do it?
How do we do that?
Okay, we actually need people with a heart actually to like come together, cause like I wouldn't do it alone. Like
So what are you doing about it? Since you can't do it alone.
no, I'm doing it, but it makes a huge difference. Like if you have like so many people, like with a heart, to actually just work on this issue that affects us as a nation.
Have you tried to bring other models or involve other models as well in terms of promoting literacy?
At the moment, not yet.
You want me to call you selfish?
No, I'm not selfish. I would actually want people on board. I'm not selfish. It's just something I'm working on.
Okay.
Yes.
It's in the pipeline as well.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. So what's the next pageant that we'll be expecting to see you take part in?
Okay. I recently auditioned for Miss Universe Zambia. Yes. So at the moment, just waiting for the results, like to know if I'm like one of the finalists.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I'm at now.
Okay, I wouldn't really love to talk about what happens if you are not picked, but let's talk about what happens if you are picked. I want to give you more hope.
I need hope actually.
Exactly. Not only hope, but I also want to give you at least a headache, because once you are picked, you are supposed to think about what are you going to do when you are picked. So now, if you are picked, what happens?
Okay. If I picked or
If you are
count or if I'm picked.
If you are picked to be one of the contestants.
Okay, even before they actually tell us the results, I'm actually working towards that. I'm making sure I check my, wardrobe, eat healthy, take a lot of water, even though it's been hard with this weather.
I know.
Yes, yeah. Just make sure I actually even like read more. I just understand more about, Zambia and everything.
That's the least I expect from you, to read more, because you are a literacy coach, so you're expected to read more.
Yes.
It's not just something that is coming as a hobby. I hope it's a routine for you.
It is.
Wow, Hannah, thank you so much. It's been nice really having a chat with you like this.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best in your modeling career, and on top of that, helping as well the underprivileged to get to know how to read and write as well.
Thank you so
And
much.
I hope this is not just the end for you, but I hope you'll do it until I don't know.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Great. All right, so that's exactly what's happening. So the responsibility of educating the country lies in the hands of each one of us. Whenever we are having an opportunity, please let us extend that helping hand and help that old lady, that old man, that child get to read and write. If it is within our powers, let us take them to school as well. We'll go for a short break. We'll be back. Now, recently we had a model with a brand event, and I think I did promise you that one of these days I'm going to talk to the two who were crowned, Mr. and Miss. Now, today we are privileged to be joined by the Mr. So you'll be able to find out who it is shortly.
Follow three married couples on the challenging journey of marriage life today.
I told you that I was going to go and talk to him.
It's
Witness as they cascade through day-to-day issues in a home.
And just where do you think you're going?
Don't miss Shipikisha Club, Tuesdays at 20:30 on QTV. Experience home.
All right, so welcome to the last part. I'll be talking to a model with a brand, Mr. Model with a brand, Mr. The winner who won in the males category, and he is definitely an ambassador for that brand as well. And his name is James Zuze. He definitely managed to beat the other contestants as well. James, welcome to in touch today.
Thank you very much.
You have a model with a brand male ambassador.
Sure.
What
yeah.
does that mean for you?
Pretty much the world that I should put on record. Not only, but it has come with, I think, a lot of opportunities for me. Things that in it should, I think, as the ambassador, I feel we're going to do a lot of different things to preserve a cultural aspect as well, maybe tradition, but in line with fashion as well.
Okay, so talking about Zambian culture, what would you love to preserve about Zambian culture? What would you love to show the world about your culture? What would you love the world to know about your culture?
Pretty much everything. One thing that we should put on record is culture in itself. I think does not only generate maybe forex, but it's also one way in which we can tell our stories or maybe raise the kids or the future generation. I feel they deserve to know who we are or where we came from. Looking at Zambia in itself, it's a multicultural nation, but we find that we've got the big five, which have been the only ceremonies that have been heard of so far. But I feel people need to know the real Zambia out there. There's plenty that we can showcase.
So when you talk about the real Zambia, what are you specifically referring to?
By the real Zambia, I'm talking about I think there's so many cultural groups that are not or that have not been heard out there.
E.g.
For instance, I'll talk of maybe let me talk of the Soli. The Soli, personally, I'm a Soli, but there's very
Is that the
few.
reason why you made reference to Soli? Because you're Soli?
No, it's simply because I don't want to offend any tribe out there,
Okay.
or maybe any culture group out there.
Okay.
So I feel there's plenty that we should showcase out there. Not only I'm looking at we have about 5 ceremonies. Why don't we showcase the rest? Zambia in itself has got over 73 ethnic groups, so I feel there's a lot to be showcased out there.
Okay. Now, what motivated you to take part in the Model for Brands pageant?
That's a very interesting question.
Yes,
But
it is.
Okay, I have had the passion to do the modeling, but I think of late I've been lacking platforms. I first tried it out with Models in Livingston, which was about 2 years ago, but it was a bit slow in the coming. So, but as at now, when I saw this opportunity, I felt I should utilize it, and I took it, which despite it being the first runway show that I did, I feel it paid off. It did pay off.
Okay, when you talk about it paying off, what did it pay exactly? Money or?
I think in the industry itself, it's not. I do not really feel we should be so much of money motivated. I think it comes to a lot of things. Among some, I may talk of is there's exposure. I think I've met a number of people who I did not think I was going to meet in the industry, and it's also opened me, or maybe opened doors for me out there to the industry itself.
Now, imagine that you are standing among a number of contestants, and names are being obviously names are being said on the stage, and your name is called as the winner of Model with a Brand 2017 pageant. I wouldn't want to say beauty pageant because you are a man, so
Sure.
it would really sound so, but pageant. How did you feel?
I think it has taken me days to believe the results. I'm
I'm
looking
sure
at
now you don't believe.
very much. I'm looking at the people who are involved in the event.
You are not so confident of yourself?
I am, but I was looking at the names that were there. I had Mr. Hope Zambia as a contestant. I was doing it for the first time. I had a guy who's a model trainer participating in the event. It was like, I think I was the odd one out. You're trying it for the first time, and everybody else is like a professional, and you have to weigh yourself against those. But
What did you do that made you win?
I think first of all, instructions are part of the game. Whichever game you're going to play, instructions should be followed. The theme talked about tradition and glamour. Then I felt I had to combine the two, which simply means the traditional aspect should be there in the outfit. Then the glamour part should be there in the outfit as well. But at the end of it all, it's about how you're going to bring it out. Are you able to market a brand out there? That's one of the qualifications that a model needs to have, or maybe that they were looking for.
Okay, so did you have all that?
Definitely, I did.
Or maybe judges just loved you. Or maybe judges just liked you.
I feel in a game of professional, maybe qualifications, or maybe to do with merit. There's nothing to do with they love you or they like you. It has to do with do you have what it takes. I think that's pretty much what should have maybe been put to
So
consideration.
talking about the other contestants as well, what do you think they lacked?
What do I think they like or they lacked? I feel maybe the main thing that I personally noted that they lacked was the issue of glamour. The tradition part was vivid. I could personally see it. Okay, yes, it's there, but the glamour part was nowhere near. So
Okay, so when you talk about the glamour part, do you mean they presented themselves in English? Their English was broken, or what exactly was lacking in their glamour?
the outfit itself, because you are presenting the outfit that you had on you. Firstly, you had to pick a tribe, any tribe in Zambia. Then the outfit you're going to work on had to be related to that tradition or the tribe.
So meaning even the language that you're supposed to use, your grammar should be related to that.
You can use the tribe that you had picked, but at the end of it all, it had to do with comfortability. Are you okay with that language? Are you fluent with that?
What language did you pick up?
I personally used English. Though I was willing to use a bit of Ngoni, yes, but I felt I had not had enough time to learn the language.
Okay. Okay. If I was a judge, I think I wasn't going to give you merits because it was traditional. So why didn't you use at least any traditional language? That's just a by the way thing, don't worry. Okay, great. So now you were crowned as the winner of the whole entire pageant. Going forward, what's next for you?
I think pretty much big things are lined up for me. Not only from the institution itself, but personally, on my plans, I think I have a lot that I feel I'm going to do. Apart from the duties that we have been given, which have to do with maybe sending 10 girls to school, working with the models that will be coming in late this year. I feel this year is a year for me to grow and maybe have an impact on the industry.
And obviously there are quite a number of other pageants that are coming up pretty much soon, either this year or next year. What could be your next move now?
At the end of the day, I feel I have to be flexible depending on what is in line with my contract. So I'm very much willing to participate in as many shows as possible. Of late, I've had a request from Livingstone. They were supposed to have a Livingstone Fashion Week, which has been postponed. I was supposed to participate in that. Then there are also, I think, about 2 other shows that are pending that I have not yet confirmed because I have to talk to people before I confirm. So I think this year my target is to do at least 3 or 4 more shows, at least to boost the ground.
All right, now male modeling in Zambia is not that pretty much common. It's an industry that a lot of people still have a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to them accepting a male model. For a female model, it's easy to accept because modeling has always been related, or has always been connected to the ladies. So, what are you doing in it?
I think one thing that has to be said clear is to do with modeling is not only for the female sex. Um, I look at modeling to be, I think, for both, in the manner that we have categories. We have the male models, we have the female models. Not only, we also have fit models, we have fitness models, we have commercial models. It depends where you feel you fit in. At the end of the day, we have models who are maybe fit models. You have to market maybe outfits or try out outfits for the gents. So you come in that line, as we cannot dress a female model in a gent's outfit. So I
We have
feel
female models who look pretty much like boys, so they can always fill up that position. Don't worry about that. All right, now let's talk about the other part of you as well. Apart from modeling, what else do you do?
I'm a student at the University of Zambia studying Zambian cultures and ceremonies.
Okay, now I understand. I can easily, correlate like that.
Thank you.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So at least you're a man who is at the heart of Zambian culture.
Then not only, I also do, I think, fashion outfit designing. I think my main focus has to do with the preservation of culture. Even the outfits themselves, I think if you had to see them, that to do with, they've got the cultural aspect in them. Then apart from that, I think I also do write a bit of movie scripts. Yes.
So which one is so close to your heart?
Which is so close to my heart. I'll pick on modeling at the moment. I think I've been in the designing industry for quite some time, but I feel it's been a bit of a challenge when it comes to the Zambia environment, because we do not have so many people coming on board to support it. I think if you are to look at it from maybe a perspective of the industry, we've had the music industry, which has been heavily supported by different institutions and organizations, but for the designing industry, I think we are yet to have the first award show yet this August. So I feel it's not yet had that best. So I feel it's high time that I change to, or maybe switch to the modeling industry, which I feel has gained support from a number of institutions.
Okay, and talking about you in the next 2 years, where do you see yourself?
In the next 2 years, I think I'll be living on a tour bus. What I mean by that, I think I want to tour the world. I want to showcase it out there to say I'm a model, not just any type of model, but I'm a model with a brand. Who I feel we need to make a huge impact out there in the next 2 years. I think we should have had a number of events, because I think starting this Sunday, our schedule gets busy. So which simply means the next 2 years, I think, would have gone full throttle everywhere.
I love what is obviously hanging around your neck.
Thank you.
What's that?
It's an accolade. It represents royalty. So it was part of the awards from the previous event, the previous show we had this Friday.
Okay, so now talking about the organization of the whole entire event, in your own opinion, obviously, how would you rate it? How was it? Satisfactory?
Looking at the effort that was put in, I would say it was pretty much, I think, a very good event. The effort put in, I think, personally, I was satisfied with what they did, because it's not really easy to, I think, put up a show, like starting something for the first time, and you have so many people coming, and you have all the awards, maybe everything set, like there's everything that's shortlisted or that you saw on social media just comes to you instantly. There's nothing like maybe you see us later for this or something like that. I feel what everything they did was, I think, to perfection.
So you're simply telling me that there's no area of improvement that you noticed that they need to work on?
Probably looking at the venue. We used Evelyn Horn, but I feel maybe we need a bigger venue. But I think that being the first of the events that we had, I feel it was okay, but it being maybe something that's going to be happening frequently, we might need a bigger venue.
All right, and earlier on, I was just talking to your fellow model. Exactly, I was talking to Hannah, and I was talking about, I was trying to push her into a corner when it comes to, what judges look for in a model, even when they are awarding points to models. According to you, have you ever had an experience where you feel judges just never liked you, where you feel you put in your best and they just couldn't just award you because they just never liked you, or they favored somebody instead of you?
Um, Actually, everybody has that moment. The times that I've felt those moments, um, I think personally I do design of my personal outfits wherever it goes. Whether I'm going for a show, I'm going for an interview, auditions, I do pretty much that. But the times that I feel people do not just appreciate the effort I put in, I think that on its own has been some kind of maybe a drawback, because as much as you are looking for a model who can maybe go on runways, who can do pageants, I feel you have to notice, I think, a certain maybe level of creativity in them. So which has been, I think, a key thing when it comes to everything I do.
Okay, and at some point when you felt like giving up?
Pretty much. I think the first time I did the show was, I think, about 2 years ago, and that was like all this time I stopped, like I wasn't doing anything. I was like, okay, I think I'm done. But due to friends and family, I think they pushed me to work hard, and a dream is a dream. I think a talent is one thing that requires you to put in all you have for you to maybe reap the best results.
So what did you think? Why do you feel like giving up?
Modeling industry, I think I had given up for quite some time as well. The designing part as well. I think almost pretty much for the talents that or the gifts that I've been given, I think
Why
there's a
did you
point that I
give up?
felt.
Why did you feel like that?
I'm looking at the challenges that I encounter personally. Just like I made it known, I'm a student. Then you look at the financial support. Um, in Zambia, I think we don't really have that base of maybe family coming so much on board to support you in terms of financials comes to talent. So I think I've been using my BC money to make the ground for my talent. So the times that maybe I
So
would run out of
uteko
money.
mpia matambo kubika model.
So I kind of at some point ran out of finances, and I told my roommate to say, I think.
Why didn't you go back to the government? They're the ones who give you money. So you could have just knocked at their office and tell them to say, guys, the BC knife, when they were MP, I've got this guy. So how do you balance out? How do you balance school and modeling? Because currently you have gone back into modeling and it's active for you. So how do you balance the two?
I think it has to do with being principled. That's one thing that everybody needs for you to succeed in maybe you being a multitask person. I pretty much study, I think, in the evenings, which gives me enough time to do my maybe other activities during the day. So, apart from that, I think I'm one person who I think I understand myself. That's one thing I can say.
Mm-hmm.
If you pretty much understand yourself, everything can run as planned.
Okay, and going forward, how does your family take it that they've got, let's say, mom, sisters, that they've got a brother, a son, who is a male model, which is pretty much uncommon in Zambia?
I think that was the biggest challenge I faced at first when it came to telling them. Yes. I think I could do some maybe background shows back then. Then I just realized I think doing background shows was kind of limiting me. Simply meant I could not do maybe evening shows, or maybe I could not do any events when it comes to maybe in certain awkward hours. So I think one Saturday from church we were having lunch. Then I built up on my courage and I was like, Mom, I'm having a show today at 13, which simply means I'm not going back to church. To my surprise, she didn't respond. I was like, okay, maybe she's planning of getting a knife and throwing it at me. I was like, okay, everything was cool. Then the next thing she just told me to say, what time is it starting? And I was like, it's starting at 15. They were like, are you ready for it? I was like, pretty much. Have you prepared enough? Do you need any support? I was like, for now, no. Then I think after the show, we were able to sit and talk. She just told me, it's good that you've opened up. I think we can offer you all the support that you need. So I feel they're pretty much comfortable with it. Then the other weekend, I was opening up to my grandma, who also sent me a text before I came. She's like, all the best. I'll be watching you. I was like, thank you very much. So I feel the family is, I think they're comfortable with everything.
So are they watching this interview?
Pretty much.
Okay, so I hope the moment you leave this place, the moment you leave this interview, I hope they're not going to throw pans and spoons at you. Just them finding out like this that you're a male model.
No, they won't.
I hope they were too late.
No, they pretty much.
I hope Radish, but no male model.
They do.
And I hope that they know that the next event you're taking part is Mr. Zambia.
I think everybody's working towards that, and I'm glad to say they've also helped me put together a team that's going to be helping me with the poses. I think they're working, yeah. So I feel they're ready for that.
Okay.
Having a Mr. Zambia in the house.
Having Mr. Zambia in the house.
Yeah.
Wow. James, thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you all the best, and I hope that you're going to be proactive and take up the challenge that has been laid up in front of you. And I hope that you guys, your objectives of being a model with a brand will be met by the end of the day.
Thank you very much.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's your wrap for today. We'll be back next week, Monday, with another exciting brand new of the show. But the repeat of this week comes on Saturday and Sunday 13, so you can definitely reminisce on what we've discussed. The whole lot of this week, who we've brought, in case you missed one of the episodes. Otherwise, we'll gladly bring the repeat on Saturday at 12, and of course Sunday at 13. This has been Nelson, wishing you a very, very lovely and of course productive weekend. But you can, you said that it was not a problem. What is the problem?